Hello everyone and welcome back to the Weekend League. This is the final race here on final F1 race in F1 2019 here on Gavra Racing, and it is the final Weekend League race. And yeah, I am joined by not David this week. David could unfortunately not join me. Not Toussaint this week because he couldn't join me. So I've got one of my mates in. And a fellow driver here in Gavra Racing. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello there, it's Joe. Joe XX118 is my gamer tag in this beautiful league.
Beautiful.
this beautiful league.
And yeah, so
welcome.
Drivers
out on track already.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers out on track at the moment. But yeah, welcome to the Weekend League. Joe, it hasn't failed to disappoint us so far in terms of its racing, and hopefully we'll be able to see something good here. As at the moment, just checking on how we're doing in terms of people, and yep, we are up and running now, so which is good, and we've got quite a few drivers out on track at the moment.
I think we've got Greg's on a flying lap here in the Red Bull.
Yeah, let me just get up all my map quickly and all my telemetries. Oh, Doku's lost it wide up in the middle sector, and he spun round and he caught it a little bit too wide there, as Vincer's gone the fastest in the first sector at the moment, but I can imagine there'll be a few people trying to go the fastest. And big news already is Jetsy, who was still in championship contention with X-Natty, is not here this race, which technically, if we're going down the technicalities here, means that X-Natty is going to be champion, but we will have to wait and see until after the race, and we'll give the championship to then.
Oh, Jutsi here puts in a 187. That's quite a good lap.
Good lap there from Jutsi, as he said. Yeah, 18.7, and yeah, he's been showing a lot of pace in that Merc lately, and so we'll have to see whether he can keep up that run of form, but I don't think he is close enough in terms of points to get X-Natty. I think Jutsi's on, 77 points, and X-Natty's on 116, so...
Oh, the Williams has opted for a medium, tyre.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely loving there, going for a medium tyre, maybe going for a different strategy in the race, possibly there, Joe?
Yeah, maybe hoping for a safety car, maybe like a safety car around lap 10. Maybe. And if we're having turn 1... being as treacherous it is, there will likely be a safety car.
We'll have to find out what will happen during the race, but big news what happened today in terms of real life F1. The first race today in Austria, a bit controversial across the whole weekend. A lot of the news coming from the Mercedes team, as we all know. Whether you hate or love Mercedes, you'll have your opinions on what happened there, but hopefully we'll have some nice clean racing here in the Weekend League, and we will we'll try and get to the end here and crown someone as champion. But that someone is probably going to be X-Natty if in the next 13 minutes Jetsy doesn't join us, and then next Natty will be champion.
I heard you say before that Natty's in good contention for the championship, but Jutsi is in with the chance. He needs 39. He needs to score 39 points
out of 40. So he needs
out of 42.
So there's 42 points at hand. So actually yes. Thank you for telling me that. So I even doing the maths there, but Jutsi. Jutsi championship contention then. So the championship is not over yet, and so yeah, we'll have to find out whether he will be able to claim it. But X-Natty only needs 5 points.
Yeah, Natty will need some horrendous luck. So fingers crossed that he manages to get across the line in one piece.
And definitely have to be very unlucky, X-Natty, if he was to lose the championship, because he's got such a good lead.
100%.
Such a good lead at the moment, as we can see, and yeah, he showed it all season, the pace that he's had. Won quite a few races here in the Weekend League, but yeah, but it's going to be exciting to see everyone back in the F1 2020 game, and yeah, are you looking forward to it, Joe?
I cannot wait. I am so excited. Got Amazon Prime on the delivery. Should be here on the day. So excited.
I mean, I'll be pre-ordering mine on the PlayStation, so I'll get mine as soon as the clock ticks over 12 o'clock. It will be on my PlayStation, ready to play, which is all
I'm
good.
sure everyone knows, but just in case if nobody knows, if you pre-order the game through F1 2019, you will get a 10% discount. Just in case.
That is true.
Nobody knows.
That's true. But actually, here we've got some people. Actually, Jutsi.
Oh, Red Bull's lost it.
Oh, there's a Red Bull. Oh, it's I believe it's Doku once again, but this time it was further into that middle sector there. I'm really bad at corner numbers, as he comes down to what I like to call Glock corner, as quite a few people call it that. But at the moment, Exadi's still in the pits. He's just about to come out now. So championship leader at the moment, coming out in the Racing Point car.
Oh, new helmet. I'm pretty sure we see that. He's gone for the metallic purple look.
Oh,
okay.
Nice there from Exadi. But I believe, if you bear with me a second, Joe, we did have some penalties, as you kindly pointed out to me.
We have, Jetsi, who I don't think's here.
Jetsi isn't here now. So he will not. But
however,
Edmir,
EDM, go for it.
Who is
LLP3?
Yes, because he actually he retired from the session, I believe, because he knew he couldn't actually qualify in the race. So he is followed by the race rules there given from the stewards, and is serving his penalty for this first qualifying session. But at the moment, Jutsi Kev still leading a 1 minute 8.7. But Quazboy in second. We've seen really an up and down season from him here in the weekend league. He's had quite a few comeback drives. We've noticed quite a lot from him. But he second with 1 minute 8.8 there. 1 minute 9.1 there for Vinja. Gregster, who has also had a bit of an up and down season for the Red Bull team, is done a 1 minute 9.1.
Now he's back in the pits. Oh,
did he pick up any damage to his car?
I don't know. I didn't notice. Maybe setup issue.
Maybe
I don't know.
Potentially, maybe.
Well, no, Park Ferme is on. No. But normally, Park Ferme is on.
Yeah,
so
I think it will be.
Damage,
he maybe he had damage, or maybe he did put the wrong setup on potentially. We'll have to wait and see. It's Absolute 11. Absolute 11 was on a flying lap. He had put in the fastest sector 1, but unfortunately invalidated his lap as Albagu Breath, who was actually teammates of X-Naddy. And I'm not sure what the constructors are looking like, Joe. We didn't have a check on that. But I'm not sure whether McLaren have won it, or whether since McLaren are actually missing a driver.
A P1. Oh, Williams on the grass.
Oh, wait.
He's gone.
Who's lost it?
Damage to the Williams.
Oh yes, it's Absolute 11 losing it there at the top of the hill. Bad wing damage to him. But hang on, because Rick Holt is in a McLaren. Is he a replacement for?
Maybe. Yeah, Dan Schneider and Jetsi are the official McLaren drivers.
Rick Holt isn't, because Rick Holt isn't in the championship. No wonder I was so confused. Wait, Gavra, are you? Oh wait, hang on. Is anybody in the chat here? Is Rick Holt? Anybody in the chat? Does anybody know if Rick Holt's a replacement or not? Gavra probably tell me.
Okay, Ferrari's coming into turn 8 here. Oh, the Red Bull is kind of in his way.
Yeah, there is a Red Bull. Red Bull's on. Yeah, but the Red Bull is also on a flying lap as well. So it isn't actually the Red Bull doesn't actually need to move out of the way. It's just because the Red Bull's slower.
Right, centre. Nevertheless, the Red Bull is still on a flying lap. Comes round turn 13, slightly misses the apex there. With his foot is flat down up onto this main straight. Through turn 14. And 15, and crosses the line, a 112 dead. Not awful lap there from the Red Bull driver.
Why can't I see the...
Oh, the Alpha's gone for it. The Quazboy's gone for it. He just came around turn 3.
As, Rick Holt and X-Daddy's still in the pits. Maybe Rick Holt's abiding by Jetsy's penalty, Joe. Remember, Jetsy had an LLP too, so he has to start within 5 minutes at the end of the session. So we'll see what happens if Rick Holt maybe comes out 5 minutes at the end. But X-Natty here, Joe, still hasn't come out yet. Any reason behind that, do you reckon? Or do you reckon he's maybe waiting for the track to clear up a little bit?
Maybe. That's probably what I'd say is, unless he's planning a strategy, you don't know. There's a multitude of reasons, to be honest. Oh, the Alpha here is on a flying lap. James, you want to go on that? Bequaz boy, he's coming through the final sector.
He is Bequaz boy here coming through.
He's gone
fastest middle sector for Bequaz boy. Let's see what time he can put in here.
Towards turn 14. Through 14.
Is it going to be good enough?
And 15.
It's going to come across the line.
Oh,
and he takes pole. A 1 minute 8.4 from Bequaz boy.
That's a cracking lap.
And that may be a little bit of a scare to X-Daddy, who is now, it was still in the pits and has not come out of the pit lane yet.
Jutsi, I think that's it. Jutsi Kev, yeah. Jutsi, yeah, he's on another flying lap. Nicely there through turn 6 and 7. Needs to go. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer through there. Okay, nice short shift up into third.
Dan Schneider at the moment. Dan Schneider come round on a lap as well. He's been showing some good pace this season. And that McLaren Ray Fizz, one of our newest drivers, he showed a bit of promise last weekend out in Russia. But as you're saying, Jutsi Kev coming round now up the hill. He's got the fastest middle sector here. This could be a good time from the Mercedes driver. Here he goes. The silver arrow up to the line. Is he going to go quickest? Oh, no. And it isn't enough. He improves by 2/10, but he got the fastest middle and last sector. Ferrari, but the end sector in the end, Ray Fizz, he's coming up. Will he go faster?
No.
Doesn't improve. Dan Schneider's going slow down at Glock Corner, so he's not going to improve on his lap time.
Absolute 11's coming round to turn 15, the final turn of the lap, and he goes 5th with a 189. Good lap. 5th
for Absolute 11 there in the Williams. Yeah, the Williams team will be looking for some points as well. We didn't. Natty's still in the pits.
He needs to get out of the pits.
If you notice, Rick Holt's actually come out of the pits now. So Rick Holt must be. I believe Rick Holt is a substitute driver for Jetsy. So Rick Holt, you need, if you're doing the calculations for me, which I believe you are. So if you could the Jetsy, the points, and also Jutsi as well is also in the running. But if we also need to have a look at the Constructors' Championship, with the moment McLaren leading on 157 points, Racing Point in second on 125. So. Is that big enough? Is that I think the Racing Point
easy could do that.
Racing Point team could still get it, but remember, both McLaren drivers and both Racing Point drivers are here. But also the Williams team, don't leave them out. They're on 111 points, so they could potentially get it as well.
If you want to ride on board here with Rick Holt, he's gone for the first flying lap on behalf of Jetsy.
Let's have a look here. Rick Holt.
Come round turn 3.
This could make the championship very interesting. But where's X-Daddy? He's only come out of the pits once, and he hasn't put in a lap here. It's Rick Holt, fastest first sector as he comes down here.
Through turn 4.
Down here to turn 4. Through turn up to turn 5 here. He's going to come round the high-speed right-hander. He's got to be careful not to go on the curb a little bit here.
This difficult, I would know. This one's very difficult. He needs to short shift up into third. No, opts to stay in second. Oh, no. Nice.
Up into third now as he comes up into the corner, which I crashed out on in the Premier Series in the wet. Locked up straight into the wall. It's not bad there. A little bit touchy on the rear, as he said, as he's going to come round now. Glock Corner at the bottom of the hill. Now he's going to work his way up the hill. He just lost the rear. Caught the McLaren nicely at the back now. He's got to try and get as much speed as he can. DRS open. He's going to go down to the line. What will he do? It's a 9.2. A 19.2, but I can imagine that time it could be a little bit faster if he didn't have a lot of that oversteer there.
Yeah, agreed. Natty needs to get out the pits. He's only going to have time for one lap.
Natty needs to come out the pits now, otherwise he will not make it. don't know what's happening. It's at the moment, Because Boy and a 184 leading the session. Xsaddy's come out. Xsaddy out. Xsaddy out. He's coming down the pit lane now, but he's on the medium compound of tyre.
Oh, okay.
Which is an interesting strategy from him. But let's see what he can do. He's done this before in the weekend league. Yeah, we're going to have to find out whether he can put in a lap time. He's really going to have to push here if he wants to try and get around the track, but I believe he will be able to make it because it's about 1 minute 8 a lap, and so we'll have to find out. But he needs to get this lap perfect here, Joe. Otherwise, if he invalidates it, that's him starting from the back of the grid, and that could really mix up the championship.
I think Ray Fizz is going to go for another hot lap.
Yeah, it looks like Ray Fizz here. Fresh set of softs for him as he's coming out, going down the S's at the start of the track, and I believe there's another McLaren going for it here. Looks like Rick Holt also going here. Dan Schneider just coming out of the pits, but Dan Schneider isn't going to make it unless the lobby time is different, because sometimes...
Ray Fizz goes purple sector 1.
Ooh, Ray Fizz purple sector 1 from him. God, sorry. As the Ferrari driver will be looking for some good points, as he had an unfortunate weekend last weekend, and let's see what he can do here. As he's coming
promising for Ray Fizz here.
Yeah, let's have a look as you can see if he comes down here.
Blasts up towards turn 10. Nice on entry.
Let's see if he comes out of sector 2 here.
Through turn 11.
What will he do?
Towards turn 12. And 13.
It's not the fastest middle sector. I wish we had individual sector times to compare to each of the drivers like they do in real F1. That would make my life a lot easier.
Oh, Natty's gone fastest sector 1.
Fastest sector 1 on the medium tyres for Natty, but let's see if Ray Fizz can improve. He does. And look how close that is between him and Dan Schneider, but he doesn't get it. Ray Fizz stays 4th, but Quaz Boy first. Jutsi Kev, he's come around on a flying lap, but let's have a look at this man here. Natty is... Someone's running slow at corner. It's Doku. Let's have a look. What will he do in sector 2? Natty here on the fresh set of mediums. And he's not fastest in sector 2.
No, he's not. Don't forget though, he is on the mediums. He's going to put a strong time in on the mediums, and he's obviously gone for the strategy this race.
Definitely, it will be the strategy game for Natty if he wants some big points. Where will he go?
Oh, top 10 on the mediums.
9th
for
that's a good
time. That's a good time on those mediums.
A good time there for Natty on the mediums as he goes into 9th for the Racing Point team, and he's been looking to get the strategy done on in the race as he's standing 9th. Remember, only needs 5 points, I believe, to win the championship, but that also depends on whether he can finish ahead of Rick Holt, who is Jetsy, or Jutsi Kev. And I'm sure we'll be making sure we, keep up to date with the championship and throughout the entirety of the race, both driver and constructor championships. We will keep you updated. But yeah, that's it from qualifying session. But I have to say, Joe, look at the gap up front between Jutsi and Bakwazboy between those 2 laps. 0.03 of a second between the 2 drivers. Now that was it's really, really close. But Quazboy in the end on pole, Jutsi Kevin 2nd, Dan Schneider will take 3rd, Ray Fizz in 4th, Absolute 11 in 5th, Vincher in 6th, Rick Holt, who is stepping in for Jetsy, will take 7th, Gregster in 8th, Natty in 9th, Asa Sabo in 10th, Albagu Breath in 11th, Doku in 12th, Esky Boy in 13th, and Edmir will start up the back of the pack after having a qualifying penalty in 14th place. And from looking from the starting grid here, Joe, McLaren ahead of both Racing Points here, so that's looking good in terms of their constructor championship here, potentially for the 2 McLaren drivers.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, seeing Natty on those mediums is looking very promising for the Racing Point team, because like I said, it looks like no other drivers are doing that strategy, so he could be in good contention for a podium finish. Definitely.
I think an early safety car would really knock his strategy though, especially with everyone going onto a set of mediums.
100%.
With it only being a 25% race, that could really affect his race and the other championship. But we'll have to find out what will happen here at the start of this race. 14 drivers here with us, and we're about to get underway for the final race here in Gavra Racing on F1 2019. But technically, yeah, the penultimate race, sorry.
Exactly, the penultimate race.
The penultimate race here in Gavra Racing. And let's have a look and see what everyone is doing in the chat. And see how the chat is doing at the moment. We've been completely ignoring you guys, and we apologise. Tiger. I can see the chat now, Black. I can see the chat, Black Country, mate. As we are on to the we are on to now the formation lap here in this race. Let's hello everyone in chat. Peter Speckins in the chat. Hello, mate. Dad of the Year award got to go to him. Cryptech in the chat as well. Hello, Black Country Mush, Straight Lake, yes, you, hello, and Agsibring, supporting Dan Schneider there, so...
Racing Point seems to be holding up the grid with the... Oh, it's AI.
Is it an AI there? He must have paused, potentially. I believe the drivers can just go around him.
Yeah, they can. It's only formation lap. Shouldn't get into too much trouble.
If it was real life formation lap, they would be able to.
Yeah.
But this is Codemasters and this is F1 2019, so...
not for long. New game in 48 hours.
Just some people talking about Hamilton in the chat, so I'm just going to ignore it and carry on with the commentary. So, it's the Quads boy at the moment leading. He'll be wanting to, put on a good show here and try and get some big points for our Alfa Romeo team. But his teammate at the back of the grid and hasn't even started this race. Where is he even on the grid here?
I don't blame Natty for going for the strategy he is, because at the end of the day he knows he is quite far ahead in terms of the championship. I mean, he just wants a safe race. Definitely. If I was Natty, I'd do the exact same thing right now.
Definitely. Next time he's going to need any points that he can, and Black Country saying in the chat maybe might be going to about the 10th or the 11th lap on those mediums. I can assume he probably will do.
Medium soft strat. Sure.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it'll definitely be a medium to soft here, but we're waiting for all the drivers to line up at the back of the grid here, and we are now waiting for the lights. And the lights are counting down here in the penultimate race of the season. And it's a light sound, and away we go. But Quaz Boy off to a good start here. Jutsi, though, all over the back of him at the moment. And now, Ray Fizz down the inside of Dan Schneider, and the two Williams going wheel to wheel. And there's been contact at the back of him. Greg's just had some contact at the back, and he's dropped all the way back. There's a Renault that's dropped back as well of Esky Boy. And X-Danny all the way up into 7th already is Jetsi. He's going to go, down the inside. Jutsi's round!
Jutsi's gone.
Jutsi's round. I think he went wheel to wheel with what looked to be Dan Schneider, and in the end he's just come out worse. And at the moment, but Quazboy's still leading. Dan Schneider in second, Vincher up into third there. Ray Fizz then absolute 11 close behind Ray Fizz there at the moment. He's getting very close there. X-Natty though, look where he is, up into 6th place already.
Brilliant start from him on the mediums. Ferrari made a bit of contact with X-Natty G there.
Is any damage to the Racing Point? There doesn't seem to be any damage to his front wing that we can see. But the Ferrari at the moment, it's the Gregster gone around the outside of the McLaren of Rick Holt.
I believe Absolute's going to go down the inside of Ray Fizz here, turn 1.
Yeah, he might do Absolute 11.
He's going to go for it.
He might go down the inside here.
He's going around the outside.
Round the outside, he's got his teammate. And the Ferrari's trying to go down. The Ferrari were trying to go down the inside of his teammate. It is the back. Esky Boy and Rick Holt now going wheel to wheel. It says contact between the two drivers, and now Albagu Breath has gone past Rick Holt as well. And Rick Holt out of the points, and this is really good for Xani in the championship. Both Rick Holt and Jutsi Kev Joe both out of the points, and they're the people. Ray Fizz!
Ray Fizz has lost it, and he's gone into X90G. 90G has. Oh no!
What happened?
Ray Fizz lost it on the exit of turn 5, and now There's a safe.
And
There's
we
a
saw
VSC.
we saw it. We saw a similar crash in the Golden Crown with Attingren having going off and hitting the wall there down at turn 5. That's straight in the middle of sector 2 there. But
X90G must have some damage. He doesn't
seem
the Ferrari.
It doesn't seem. It doesn't seem to be any damage to the Racing Point, but at the moment, Rick Holt in 9th place, Jutsi Kev in 12th place, X-Naddy in 5th place, and this could be X-Naddy
dived into the pits. Absolute 11's dived in the pits.
Good damage.
Yeah, good idea.
Any damage for Absolute 11, or is he going to try?
I'm not too sure.
Try and get the pass
Either
done.
way, it's a good idea. It was a good move.
Yeah, maybe using that virtual safety car to his advantage, but now the virtual safety car is now gone, so he won't lose too much time to the drivers, and this might actually be a really good. That'll actually be a really good undercut for Absolute 11. I'm surprised not any of the other front drivers as Esky Boys ran wide, and now that's allowed Rick Holt to get through. And at the moment, I think it's still going to be McLaren to win the constructors, as both of them are ahead. I mean, actually, Dan Schneider ahead of X-Naddy and Rick Holt ahead of Bagu Breath onto the grass there.
Esky Boy needs to be careful. I've noticed his rear seems to kick out in sector 2. It's worrying me a little bit, that Renault, that wiggly Renault.
Yeah, maybe potentially the. Maybe potentially the Renault running a little bit of a different downforce setup.
The Racing Point seems to have a lot more grip around this track and is now right on the back of Esky Boy.
Definitely, and Black Country was saying in the chat the leaders should have pit. They missed a free pit stop opportunity.
Yeah,
potentially,
I agree. Black Country, I
potentially
agree.
they should have pitted under that virtual safety car. And now Bagu Breath getting around Esky Boy there, and Jetsi getting around Doku. Esky Boy's ran wide, and he's going to come back on the track. And he's missed it completely, Esky Boy, and he's come up.
That was a dangerous rejoin of the track there.
Definitely,
very dangerous.
Very dangerous in rejoining the track there, Esky Boys. He's gonna go for it. Oh, that's a
he's
late
done it again.
dive.
No way.
He's got to be really careful there, Esky Boy.
He's lost
some late dives and he's lost it.
Oh, he's pushing too hard, Esky Boy.
Jesus Christ, he almost came back. He almost came back on the track in front of the McLaren there.
Pushing far too hard. These drivers need to realise that the car can only go so fast around the corner.
Pushing the car to the limits, and we saw that a lot in the real F1 race around Austria, where a lot of the drivers going across the curb, damaging the cars because of it. And these drivers saying, got to be careful of the traction on the rear. As we've seen Esky Boy really wild on the rear of his car, and he's got bad wing damage. I can imagine he's going to come round.
He's in DRS range.
Come into the pits, and X-Naddy, as you said, in DRS range, as Gregster down the inside of the Ferrari. Maybe a little bit of ghosting because of lag.
Squeezed him.
The Ferrari did squeeze him quite a lot, as the Red Bull now has got DRS because he was last to the activation zone. So he's going to manage to get that pass done over Ace de Sabo. X-Naddy all over the back of Vincher at the moment.
He's doing an excellent job. And don't forget, he's on the winning strategy, and he's nearly on the podium.
Definitely. And Bequaz Boy, though, running really well up front. 2.6 second, now a 3.2 second gap ahead of Dan Schneider, who we know has been a very quick driver in these races. And Bequaz Boy here, I think he's just had some unlucky races this season. And,
I have a question. If you were Natty right now, would you push that Williams? I don't know if I would. He's on the better strategy. I don't think he needs it. He's going to lose.
But potentially, maybe he wants to conserve his tyres as much as possible, keep as much life into
he's going
them.
For it. He's going for it. He's got overtake on the ERS.
He's going for it here. Maybe he wants to get the move done on Vincher first before he starts to conserve the tyres. But he
good apex there.
Looked for it. He's going to get a good exit as he comes down now towards the second DRS straight. X-Naddy here. I don't think he's going to get the pass done.
No, he's too far away, but he might get a good exit on this corner. Here we go. X90G. No,
I don't think he's going to go for it there. So at the moment, what happened there? Did Williams almost lose the rear end?
He nearly did the same. Oh, Natty needs to be careful. His rear end is not looking too planted either. Drivers seem to struggle with grip around this circuit.
I believe Esky Boy is a lapped car there. So
Yeah.
It's kind of in the way, but yeah, but Exani, he needs to be, as he said, he needs to be careful. He needs to be careful because if he loses that car and he falls behind Rick Holt or Jutsi, then that is bad news for him, because
Rick
then
Holt's
he will...
lost it. Oh, Rick Holt, well held through turn 13, blasts up towards 14.
He's right behind Ace to Sabo here. Exani might look for a move on Vincher. He's gone down the inside.
Oh, good move there from Knight.
Brilliant pass there from the championship leader at the moment. Brilliantly well done from the Racing Point. He's now onto the podium. And remember, 4 points given out in this race, but only limited points given out in the second race. So Rick Holt and Jutsi, Joe, really need to get ahead of Xnati in this first race. Otherwise, they're not even going to get enough points in the next race to see if they can clinch that championship.
Yeah.
But at the moment, Vincher now at the back of Natty, Rick Holt at the back of Ace to Sabo. Ace to Sabo running a little bit wide there, as I think that's why you're going for, but ran a little bit wide there onto the grass.
The drivers, I keep going through all of the drivers, and through Sector 2, they all seem to be, the rear ends are just all over the place.
So,
they seem to have no grip.
And they seem to be struggling a little bit, maybe running different setups here. Can you stop making that noise?
Sorry, I'm just praying for all the drivers.
Oh, sorry, Absolute 11 and Doku having a go at the back here. Remember, Absolute 11 pit under our virtual safety car. He was the only person he's going to dive it down the inside of Rock Corner. The Red Bull. The Red Bull just closed, just slammed the door shut on his face as the other Williams come into the pits here. And he's coming in for a fresh set of mediums, but I noticed that Doku slammed the door shut on Absolute 11's face there down at Glock Corner, but Absolute 11 managing to get away with it in the end, and Ace to Sabo, it's Absolute 11 up into 9th place now ahead of Doku. Vincher just coming out the pits behind this barrel, and now he's going to be involved. So look at that battle for 9th, as well as Al Bagu Breath. All over the back of Jutsi and Ace to Sabo, all over the back of Rick Holt. So we've got
Vince gonna go down the inside of the Red Bull. Oh, he's got the move done.
Oh,
yeah, the Red Bull's got bad damage. He's gonna be really slow through Sector 2. He's gonna be outside.
Late on the brakes from the Red Bull, and he's gone very, very wide, and that's going to allow Vincher to open up a good gap now. And this and it's not looking good for the Williams team at the moment in terms of the constructors here. As Dan Schneider and Gregster into the pits. Dan Schneider in second. He's come in. Both McLaren drivers in. Let's watch this double stack here.
Gregster's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Ah, look at that double stack from the McLaren team. That's beautiful. That was very well
clean. I just missed that.
That was very well timed from the McLaren team there. A perfect double stop from the McLaren team, and none of the drivers losing any time at all. And Dan Schneider out in 5th place. Rick Holt has come out in 9th behind Absolute 11 and Vincher. So pinning a lap earlier, and Rick Holt maybe lost a little bit of time during that pit stop, but maybe just came out a bit too far behind. But gonna have to wait to see when the other drivers will come in here. Remember, Jutsi, Ace Sabo, Bequaz Boy, and Xani still haven't pit yet. But remember, Xani, different strategy to everyone else on those medium tyres, and I can imagine he will be coming in potentially.
He's made a fantastic drive. So has Sabo. They've both made up 7 positions this race.
Xani here, he's going to have a really good end to this race, because these drivers here who have pushed these soft tyres to lap 9 are not going to be able to use the full extent of those medium tyres. X90, however, will get the fresh, full, soft tyres at the end of the race, so just going to give him so much speed at the end of this race.
Fastest lap as well.
Yeah, he will need fastest lap, and I'm sure we'll do the calculations on that at the moment, but we'll wait until after the pit stops before we start doing any form of calculation to see where Xani will get the championship. But remember, this is a fight for the championship between Xani, Jutsi Kev, and Rick Holt. But Rick Holt's actually Jetsi. But between Jetsi, Jutsi Kev, and Xani is the championship here at the moment. But Xani leading the way out of those 3 drivers. But Bequaz Boy, I have to say, what a race from him. 6.2 seconds ahead of Natty at the moment.
He's just running away with it, isn't he? But I can't imagine he'd be running away with it for too much longer.
Will he come in? Oh, he hasn't come in, surprisingly.
He'll be in the next 2 laps, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine he will come in soon. He does have to make a pit stop. Let's see if the other driver who hasn't made a pit stop this race, Jutsi Kev, as he is coming round, is he coming in? No, he doesn't come in either. Interesting there from Jutsi Kev, not coming in yet, but Quasboy opting to stay out as well. And this may allow Exadi here.
Back of Absolute.
Oh, Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider just put in the fastest lap on the medium tyres. Gregson, no damage to the front of his wing from what I can see.
Oh no, must be the other Red Bull. So he's now gaining on Absolute 11.
Yeah, at the moment, if you just look there, Dan Schneider just put in the fastest lap on the fresh medium.
Absolute's nearly out of ERS. He's only 20% ERS.
I can't imagine what Exadi's going to do when he gets onto the soft tyres of Dan Schneider putting in a fastest lap on the on the mediums. So, but as you're saying, yeah, a battle between Absolute 11, Gregster and Vinture at the moment. Vinture running wide, and that'll just drop him back a little bit from Gregster. As keep an eye on this battle into turn 1, because I can imagine Gregster here, Joe, might go for a move on Absolute 11 down into turn 1.
Definitely.
Let's have a look here and see if Quasboy comes in, though. No, he doesn't. No, I don't. Quasboy doesn't go. Jutsi comes in, though. Jutsi into the pits. So the Mercedes driver in. And now, where will the Mercedes driver come out in comparison to the rest of the drivers? Let's find out. Is he's into the pits? On to the medium compound of Trier, and away he goes.
Greg's just right on the back of Absolute. Maybe the back straight. You might get him on the back straight. We'll have to see.
We'll have to see whether he does or not. As he
turn 4.
Down the straight now. Right, D's going to get DRS. It will open out now, so he's going to have it now.
Mode. He's going for it.
He's going to go for it here down the inside for Gregster. Yes, he's moved. Oh, and it's
good defending there by Absolute. He parked that car perfectly. Yeah, Absolute 11. Brilliant.
Definitely, absolutely living there, doing the best he can to defend from the attacking Red Bull from behind, and his teammate is not far away either, but Jutsi Kev comes out behind Rick Holt. So Rick Holt at the moment still trying to work his way up the field, see if he can beat X-Natty, but it's not looking very promising at the moment.
Looking at Absolute's very good defensive driving, maybe Absolute is holding the Red Bull up to maybe get his teammate in with the chance for P5.
Maybe,
perhaps.
yes. The Williams team will be looking for some big points for the constructors.
Yeah,
they are in third.
The case, then.
They are in third at the moment. Remember, Exadi in second, but his teammate Albagubref in 10th. And Dan Schneider and Rick Holt in 3rd and 7th. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in terms of the constructors, Joe. We'll have to do some calculations at the end of this race before we start the next
Greg's just got a good run into turn 1, through turn 2.
But surprisingly here, though, quickly, but Quasboy hasn't pit yet. Still hasn't.
That could be dangerous for him. That could be
really dangerous here. Is Gregster? Will he look for a move? Doesn't go for it there.
He's been smart. He's been smart.
Smart from there. Gregster there at the moment doesn't go for the move, and so Gregster here on the fresher set of medium tyres. That's why he's sticking to the back of the Williams. Oh, and the Williams from behind almost attacked as well.
Red
but remember,
Bull is all over this Williams.
There'll be some penalties involved at the end as well, as I just saw Jutsi pick up a 3-second time penalty, so that's even more damage for him, and even more of a reward for Exadi. Is Quasboy in? But Quasboy's still staying out as he picks up another 3-second time penalty. But look what that's doing. That's just allowing Exadi to close that gap down a little bit.
Yeah.
X-Natty has picked a... I think what Quasboy may be doing here is he's maybe going to have to... Maybe he's trying to react to X-Natty in a pit stop. Maybe he's waiting for X-Natty to pit, or X-Natty's waiting for Quasboy to pit before they come into it. And I can imagine that's what it might be between the two drivers.
Vinture is closing in on this Red Bull and absolutely doing a fantastic job of keeping the Red Bull behind.
Vinture at the moment, he might look for a move here. Vinture down the inside, doesn't go for it there. Might try it somewhere else on the track, but yeah,
the Williams team here are doing a brilliant job of keeping that Red Bull at bay.
Definitely.
Absolute is doing brilliant at keeping him out, and Vinture is trying his best to get right round that Red Bull.
The Red Bull here being bullied by the two Williams drivers is what it looks like. But
Williams' dream right now is to get Vinture past on the start-finish straight.
Oh, Quasboy in! Sorry to interrupt you there, but Quasboy into the pits. X-Natty not into the pits though. He goes past.
Need.
I can imagine though. Imagine the amount of fresh, soft tyres that Natty will be on at the end of this race.
Yeah,
I can imagine he may come in on the next lap or the lap after. I don't think it's going to be too. I don't think it's going to be too long before he decides to come in because he probably wants to get the most out of those soft tyres with the speed that they have behind him.
Oh!
It's Rick Holt just put in. Rick Holt just put in the fastest
Greg's
lap
gonna
time.
Go for it here. Greg's is surely going to go for
Greg's
it
still
here.
looking for it here.
He needs to get
He's got
pass.
DRS overtake on the Williams. He's going to go down the inside. And we've seen so many battles between drivers
he
here.
Squeezed him wide. He squeezed the Williams driver wide.
And we've seen so many battles between drivers here in Brazil in the past. There's Absolute 11. Absolute 11 getting out in front there at the moment, but we've seen so many drivers have a battle on that corner.
Oh my, Vin is all over the back of Gregster.
If you remember,
it's a Red Bull sandwich.
If you remember from I can't even speak. If you remember from the Freshman League, there was an incident on that corner, turn 4 between Lord Jedi and Holland Campion.
Is that rain?
That is rain. So bad news for Natty. It won't affect him too much at the moment. It seems only light. It seems light at the moment for the rain. But yeah, Holland Campion and Lord Jedi both had an incident down there.
Here we go. He's going to go down the inside of turn 1.
Looking for the inside.
Yeah, breezing
and the Williams, his teammate, hit the back of him.
Oh no way. The Williams were doing so well up until that point, and Greg's has just managed to find that gap, and he's got past the Williams driver.
I think Absolute 11 had to slow down quite a lot because of.
Yeah.
I think it looked like there. What happened, Joe, was Absolute 11 had to slow down because of the battle that he was having with Gregston. Vincher overestimated his braking point and went straight into the back of Absolute 11. X-Zaddy, surely he's going to come in now.
He needs to pit.
Yeah, he's left it. He's left it too late. He comes in. He comes in, but what? But no, this may not be good for him. Look at the rain now. The rain is coming down, and
and he'll be on cold tyres. This is not looking good for Natty now.
No, Natty, I think he's left it. I think X-Zaddy's left it too late. I think he's left it a little bit too late. He's going to come out, and he's also now going to be overtaken by Dan Schneider. But I believe it looks like he's going to get ahead.
He's getting on Rick Holt.
He's going to actually get ahead, Joe, of this battle here for 4th between Gregster and Absolute 11 and Vincher.
He should be like a rocket.
He should take off, but rain could have a slight effect on the speed of those soft tyres, but we'll have to find out as the rain seems to be coming down a little bit more than it was before. X-Natty, he's got to gain that gap down on those softs. 2.9 seconds now. Look at the gap. Look at the gap, Joe. Down to 2.8.
Oh my God, it's flying down.
Down to 2.6. Look at the speed this man has. But I think he's left it too late, Joe. He's only got 2 laps left. Won the 17th out of the 18th
he could do it.
lap.
He can definitely do this. He could definitely do this. He needs to use his ERS. He's got 100% ERS. He needs to unleash that now.
He is. He's gone hot lap.
He's gone hot lap.
He's going for it. He's going for it now.
He can't push too hard though. He's going to bin it in turn 1. He needs to be careful.
Especially with this rain coming down. I can imagine the traction on the track will be coming a lot worse than they did before. As X-Zaddy now that gap down to 2 seconds now from 3 seconds. He's gained a second on this lap. He's got to gain 2 seconds on this lap if he wants any form of podium. But at the moment he is in 3rd. But if he wants to get
the back of Gregster,
big points at the moment, yeah, Absolute 11. He is all over the back of Gregster at the moment, so we could see some final battle. Look at Rick Holt. Rick Holt all over the back of Vincher. Remember, Vincher hit the back of his Williams teammate, but that also might allow Jutsi Kev to get involved here. It's all Rick Holt going down the inside into turn 4.
Switch.
Brilliant move there by Rick Holt, and that
dive down the inside. Lovely.
Damage limitation for X-Natty in terms of the champion.
1.3.
In terms of the championship.
It's the tie. He's killing the time.
8 tenths now.
It's just dying. 8 tenths. No, he's not going to get it. Surely.
He might get it on the final straight. We'll have to see.
Through turn 10.
Oh, he's got a good exit here. 5 tenths now.
He needs a good run through this penultimate corner to get on 2nd place. He's gone for it. Oh, lovely!
Oh, and Dan Schneider said
he's
he's going to
done
go
it!
down the inside. Final lap
exit!
overtake from
What
Xnani.
an exit!
It's wheel to the line. Who's going to get it?
No,
Oh,
Nice out
Dan
of
Schneider's
VRS!
pushing him.
Nice out of VRS!
Oh, who got it? Oh, Xnani got it.
Oh! Oh my god, Natty's ERA, his battery didn't die, it was his lap allowance. His lap allowance died out on the final straight, and I didn't think. And Dan was running medium ERS, obviously because he didn't have enough left, but Natty drained the battery out. But Natty somehow, with no electric power down that starting straight,
managed to get it there.
Get on second place. Brilliant.
That's Xnani there. Second place for him. Dan Schneider got third, but we cannot take away from the fact though that Boy, what a race he had. Dominated at the front. He had a 6-second gap over second, and it was a pretty normal day in the office for him, and yeah, what a win for him. But Xnani, good for the championship, and if we can have a look now at what the points are, Joe, in terms of constructors and driver championships here, then we'll be able to figure out whether Xnani has won it yet or whether it will still be in contention. So,
okay,
Jutsi,
so Natty has got second. Okay, brilliant drive from Natty and Boy as well. Just completely led the field.
all you need to figure out is whether Rick Holt or Jutsi Kev, if Dan and Natty DNFs, whether if they win that gap. I don't think it will be, you know. I don't think it will be. I think he's got it. In terms of constructors, I'm unsure at the moment. If you bear with me, we will be doing some quick maths. Then we'll be.
I don't think it's possible. I think Natty G's got it.
I think Natty G has got it. We'll make sure we.
If you want to confirm my calculation,
I will do. Right, bear with me. I'm trying to find it. I think he has got it. What's everyone? Let's have a look quickly what everyone is saying in the chat. Woody, don't celebrate too early, because I think he's got it, but we're unsure. So let's have a look here. Xnani, 116 points, got second. That gives him 18 points. So that's 134 points. Who was in... So, Rick Holt got 5th, which is 25, 18, 15, 12, 10.
Yeah.
So, 85. So that's 95. So, 1, 3, 4...
It's not possible.
It's 39 points.
It's not
so,
possible.
your winner of the Weekend League, the champion of the Weekend League, is Natty G. So well done to him. In terms of constructors, I'm also going to figure that out. But well done to Natty. He is our Weekend League champion. And yeah, what a race that was. And well, also well done. Definitely don't take it away from him. But Boy, dominant performance from that Alfa Romeo, man. And yeah, definitely put on a good show for all of us. Xnani, though, in the end, getting second, and that gap too big for the other drivers behind to close down in the championship. So that is Xnani for the win here in the Drivers' Championship. For the constructors, well, that's just a whole other story at this point. We do. We will have another 25% race, but it is not a full quali. It is only a one-shot qualifying. So they get one shot at putting in a good lap time. And we've seen this at the start of the Weekend League out in Australia. We saw Jetsi win the first race, but qualified last in the second because he invalidated his lap. So that's what the one-shot qualifying can do to drivers here. And yeah, we'll have to find out in terms of the Constructors' Championship. Let me just try and work it out for you. So Dan Schneider got third, so he gets 15 points. Why, Gavra? Why is the thing being so annoying? Bear with me, guys. Why does the stream still say that I'm... There we go. So well done to Xshanny G and well done to Quazboy for winning that race. But yeah, your weekend league champion is Natty G.
Are you gonna talk us through this one-shot lap?
It's quite difficult to commentate on the one-shot quality. I'll give you that.
All right, I'll give it a go.
Go on, give it a go while I do some calculations. 157.
I'll stay on the pole, sit there, and I'll go through it that way.
157. Don't. This is not good.
Here we go.
My controller's completely my controller's completely disconnected. I'm just gonna stick.
Quazboy P1
I'm gonna try and find the. There we are. I'm gonna stick on the champion Xshanny. Well, why don't you just run through all of that?
Through. Down the back straight. Quazboy's blasting towards turn 4. Nice on the brakes. Nice through there. Blasting up towards turn 5. Now looking up towards turn 6. Quazboy still on pole. Comes through turn 6. Looking at turn 7. Nicely done there. From the Alpha. Round turn
2. Oh, Xshanny spun! Sorry, Xshanny spun at the back.
Shift.
Sorry, Xshanny spun at the back.
Turn 10, he needs to take a wide.
Is he doing donuts?
Turn in, nice.
Sorry, carry on.
Goes through turn 11, but Quazboy is dominating this qualifying session. Purple sector 2 goes through turn 12 up towards turn 13. Rickle is very close though. Turn 14. Final turn of the... There we go. The Quazboy takes it with a 186. And Rickle 2/10 behind. And then Jutsi another 2/10 behind. And then Dan Schneider got very close there to getting on the podium. But unfortunate for him, he was 1/10 off. And do you want to update us on what happened to our championship? Our championship winner?
Basically, I think the championship winner went into celebration mode and is still in celebration mode and is doing donuts. And the track, clearly really happy about winning the weekend league championship. He's just completely left his quali and he's gone on for some donuts now.
He knows though, doesn't he? There's nothing the grid can do to get the championship off him.
144. Sorry, bear with me. 144. 12. One, 2, 3 plus 8. Just 131. So So 82, 44, it's 15. What was it? 15 for a win. Sorry, bear with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the second race, it is, yes, 15 points for the win, 12 points for second, and 10 points for 10th. So 15 plus 12 is 27. And that gap is 38. So, another announcement. The McLaren team are the Weekend League Constructors Champions. So well done to the McLaren team as well. They are the Weekend League Constructors Champions, and Xshanny is your Weekend League Driver Champion. But remember, it's not all over because this is the second race here. And with the championship all over, I'm sure this will be just driving for pride now. But Quazboy, I'm saying this is going to be really good for him just to get 2 good wins here and 2 good results if he can hold this. But it looks like, Joe, once again, Xshanny going for the same strategies he did last time.
Yep.
So we'll have to find out whether he can do a miraculous finish like he did last time. But there are 18 laps of Brazil. And this is the final time I will be saying this, but this is the final formation lap here on F1 2019 here in Gavra Race, and I hope everyone is ready. Thank you to all 34 of you watching in the chat, and hope you're ready. This is a special moment because this is the final race here on F1 2019 on Gavra Racing. But don't worry, because we'll be back in September for F1 2020. Brand new game, brand new cars, and brand new stuff in the game, like for example the overtake button. I was trying to think of a way to say brand new what would you call it? Modes? No. You're saying giving a overtake button. The overtake button for special.
That should be really exciting.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for that.
But if you didn't actually tune in on Saturday, which was yesterday, but I actually won the FIFA tournament here in Gavra Racing, the first Gavra Racing esports tournament that we had, and it was on FIFA. Oh yeah, I won.
Oh, congrats, mate.
Oh, thank you. I lost my first two games. I was against Geordie FIFA himself. I lost my first two games, and then I won a game against Natty, drew a game against Natty, and then won the 2 games against its Julio. And then, I won the semis and won the finals. So, but that doesn't matter because the lights are counting down here in Brazil. And then with lights out and away we go for the final time in F1 2019. It's McQuack's boy off to a good start. Rick Hull trying to go down the inside of the Merc, and he's hit the back of the Alpha. And at the back here, someone's round. I think there's a Renault at the back. I believe Esky Boy and Gregster's Esky Boy is running wide here, and he's going to have to try and rejoin the track. Now, the moment McQuack's boy getting a good lead. Here is the McLaren having a little battle there with Judsey, and in the end, but the Mercedes here getting out on top, followed by Dan Schneider. Then refits. Oh, Absolute 11's gone over.
Oh no! What happened to
Joe? The car flipped.
No, it did not.
The car flipped.
Oh, X90G's off. VSC. X90G's got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh, it's unfortunate for X90G. I believe he went off and then VSC came out. So when he rejoined the track, he got a 3-second time penalty. That is really unfortunate for Natty in the racing point.
I don't believe what I just saw. Please tell me everyone else saw that in the chat, because that was crazy. I literally witnessed Absolute 11's car flipped. Please tell me everyone else saw that in the chat. If you put in the chat, everyone's saying in the chat, yeah, it flipped. It's like Snatty getting the pass done on Doku down into turn 1. And it's a brilliant pass from him.
But lost it down to turn 2.
There was a Williams that was tumbling over. I'll have to find out what happened there, but that was crazy.
Jutsy and Rickall are very close.
At the moment, the whole of the grid is really clumped up here as X90 now trying to get on Ace de Sabo in the Ferrari here, and managing to avoid
Jutsy's nil turn 10 compared to Rick Holt, who is not doing too well around sector 2.
Oh God, look at this! Look at the comment. Someone put in the chat that's the only time a Williams can fly. That was a good one. But,
Jutsy needs a good run here out turn 13.
Look at Bequas boy. He's already opened that gap up in front of 1.2 seconds to Rick Holt. Bequas boy showing some tremendous pace here. And Vint Joel over the back of Dan Schneider. X-Natty all over the back of Ace de Sabo. X-Natty is going to try and look for a move down the inside into turn 1. And we've seen so many moves, and the 2 Red Bulls behind. Is Gregster getting around his teammate Doku, and X-Natty getting around the Ferrari of Ace de Sabo as he completely... Ace de Sabo completely cut the corner there.
Judges all over the back of Rick Holt. Rick Holt's got a bit wide. Judge's got a really good run.
That was absolutely
the
league table. Sorry, RCA. X-Sunny has won the championship. I believe you've just joined us in the comments, so hello. But X-Sunny has won the Weekend League Championship, and the McLaren have won the Weekend League Constructors. There's a few drivers now trying to...
Jutsy's getting so close behind that McLaren.
Jutsy really trying to gain here on Dan Schneider at the... Rick Holt, sorry, at the moment. Rick Holt up in second. Trying to get big points here for
Jutsi hasn't got
Jetsi.
that good of a run out of turn.
Oh, there's
13,
a Red Bull at the back. It's Doku. Doku at the back. He's off. But at the moment, it's up front here. Dan
I think
Schneider
we're seeing
all over the back
another
of Jutsi.
strategy here. I mean, Dan is right behind Jutsi. If Rick Holt keeps keeping that Mercedes off.
Oh, Gregster getting around. Gregster and Ace to Sabo going wheel to wheel. Xnani and his teammate Albagubev. And it looks like Albagubev just let Xnani past. Probably a bit of team orders there. But Gregster, look at the back here. Gregster all over the back of Ace to Sabo.
If Rick Holt keeps parking that car perfectly, keeping Jutsi behind, Dan Schneider's going to go for a move.
Oh, sorry, there's a battle going on at the back here as Gregster and Ace to Sabo going wheel to wheel, and in the end, Ace to Sabo gets out in front. But yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying, which I heard none of because I was busy shouting the fact that there was the two people
Jutsi's going to face
battling at the
time
back.
penalty, hit the grass.
3 seconds.
Basically, what I'm saying what I explained last race about the Williams and the Red Bull, McLaren are looking like they're doing the exact same thing. Rick Holt is just defending beautifully against the Mercedes, and that's allowing Dan Schneider to gain on the Mercedes driver.
Looks like that plan is getting put in place here between them two McLaren drivers, but Xnani working his way up the field. 2 seconds he's got now to Ray Fizz. And 1.6 second
Jutsi's
gap
looking for that McLaren.
behind.
They're so close now.
Jutsi right behind the McLaren now. He's going to have DRS.
He's going to go for this,
surely. Yeah, he's got DRS and overtake here.
Behind.
Rick Holt's gone defensive.
Gone round the outside.
Rick Holt defensive.
He needs to cut back. He needs to cut back. He's going to go for it, surely.
Done.
Go for the cut. Oh, he slows the car down.
Rick Holt getting it done there, but Rick
Dan
Holt
is right behind now again due to that battle.
Yeah,
like I said, Rick Holt defending beautifully, and it's allowing Dan to get ever so close to the Mercedes.
It is. It's just Dan Schneider just gaining and gaining as this battle goes on and on.
He's right behind the mark.
Look at Vincher as well. He's really close to Dan Schneider behind. So this could become a four-way battle here.
Wow.
Four-way battle here for second place between Rick Holt, Jutsikev, Dan Schneider, Vincher, Ray Fizz in the battle as well. He's now 8/10 behind. And now that might allow Xnani to get involved as well. And we have a battle on our hands for second place, and it's between 5 drivers. 2 McLarens, 1 Mercedes, 1 Williams and 1 Ferrari. Who will come out on top here? Who will get second place? Jutsikev all over the back of Rick Holt at the moment, followed by Dan Schneider. Really close behind here as Rick Holt ran a little bit wide here, Joe. That's
Dan
allowed.
Schneider's sitting so comfy
Rick
here.
Holt ran wide. It allowed Jutsikev to get a good run, but Jutsikev got held up by it, and then that's allowed Dan Schneider to get a good run.
Mercedes is going to go for the surely.
Oh, he looked for it, but
Rick
didn't
Holt
get
is
it
doing
done.
a fantastic job of keeping that Mercedes behind, I must say.
And
but like I said, this is allowing not just Dan, but a Williams, a Ferrari, and even perhaps a racing point of Natty to gain, to fight for second place, sorry.
Yeah, definitely all these drivers battling for second place at the moment. Absolutely 11 in the chat saying that flight wasn't planned. It didn't look like it. You genuinely, the car flipped. I really been intrigued. I wish we had a replay feature on this game.
This battle for second is epic.
Yeah, this
battle is allowing Bequas Boy to make a pretty comfortable gap. It's pretty much like our race today. Australia Valtteri Bottas just getting an insane gap due to battling behind.
Definitely, and yeah. Bottas did win.
Oh my god, here we go.
That race in Austria.
Down turn 1. He's gone round the inside.
The Merc. He's going to go down the inside. Will he get the pass done? No, he gets it done. But
the McLaren's all over the back of him.
The McLaren have
DRS. Could get him again.
The McLaren have DRS here down the straight. That's that Renault power.
Knocked it into
all
overtake.
behind the
He's gone
McLaren. Down the inside, and he gets the pass done. And Rick Holt back up into second as Jutsi. Jutsi for the cutback.
Look at that.
Will he get the pass done?
Such intelligent driving.
Oh, and it's brilliantly well done. Really clean racing here, Joe, between these drivers, and it's really nice to see.
Driving.
I'm surprised Xnani isn't gaining as much as I thought he would. I thought he'd be gaining a little bit more on this battle.
On the mediums, though. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, he may be towards more in a couple of laps' time. I'm sure he will be gaining as the 2 McLaren drivers came very close to making contact. Someone's over at the back. Oh, it's Greg. Gregster and Albagubev are having a lot of lag. We'll just completely ignore that. There's a McLaren, there's a Red Bull off at the back. I believe it's Doku. And now, keep a look at this battle here for second at the moment. Exani, that gap has gone down to 1.6 seconds. He is now in this battle as well, and it's now a six-way battle, Joe, for second place.
Yeah, brilliant. This is going to get really intense. It's going to get really intense in terms of strategy. I can't imagine all the drivers would want to pit on the same lap.
Is Rick Hall going to go down the inside of Judsey?
He's parked it
yeah,
right in front of the Mercedes.
Yeah, he got the pass done. He got the pass done before the apex.
Right in front of the map. Oh, they've made contact. They made a little bit of contact there.
A little bit of contact between the two drivers. But yeah, brilliant pass from Rick Hall. He just managed to get the pass done. Oh, contact!
Gone for it.
There was rear contact there between the two drivers, but Ray Fizz has dropped back a little bit from this battle. But Rick Holt, Jutsikev moving around position is just allowing these cover cars of Dan Schneider and Vincher just to get caught up behind, and then it's just allowing Ray Fizz and X-Daddy to gain in as well.
A nice exit through turn 12.
And even if this battle carries on, even Gregson could get involved. And Baku Breath ain't even far behind him either. So
it's very close.
Oh, everyone's coming in.
Jutsi and Rick Holt.
Yeah, Rick Holt in and
lap 9.
Jutsi.
Ooh. To be honest, I think the drivers that have stayed out, if they can push and use all of their battery, rich fuel mix, turn the engine up.
Oh, someone's off at the back. It's a Renault.
I think the drivers that have stayed out could be on the better strategy maybe if they push really hard. They could still work.
That's just eliminate that battle a little bit. Vincher at the moment's just stuck behind Dan Schneider. Oh, is it VSC? Oh, we've got a VSC. VSC, it's the Red Bull of Doku. I'm not sure what happened down there, but he's retired. And I don't think, Joe, I don't think these drivers are going to get around to the line before this this VSC comes in. If they do, it could be a free pit stop for them.
Yeah, of course, definitely. I don't.
I'll have to find out. So a few of the drivers have come in at the back. This isn't good though for Rick Holt, Joe, and Jutsikev, as both of them been held up by the VSC, and they haven't been able to catch up to these drivers on the fresh mediums. And these drivers now are just going to come into the bit. Because he's coming.
Yeah,
he's coming.
Yeah. Dan Schneider surely is going to come in. Yeah, Dan
Schneider and Vincher. Ray Fizz does it though. Ray Fizz not in.
The last pass. That's quite a good move though from the Ferrari driver.
Oh, Exani's in.
Yeah.
Maybe learning from last. Maybe from learning from. Oh, Jutsikev gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So that's everyone back out of the pits here. And you can see that really hurt.
Ray Fizz is pushing. He's using all of his battery on this lap to try and make sure his strategy worked of staying out during the safety car. He's on 10%. He's going for it.
Let's have a look. Gap to leader from the Paquaz boy.
Let's have a look. Retired.
No,
just retired.
I don't think. Joe. I don't think he's gonna get. I think he will come out in 7th place. It looks like, because the gap to Exani from Ray Fizz is 19 seconds. If he can pull out a 20-second gap, he could come out right next to Exani. We'll have to find out where he comes out. As yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, I believe that is for the Renault.
And he's got no battery left, but neither does the Racing Point. And I know I've been talking about the battery a lot.
The Racing
is very important.
The Racing Point both Racing Points started on the medium tyres, so that Racing Point still got it. Yeah, that Racing Point still got to make a pit stop. So where that Racing Point will come out, I'm not sure. But Quazboy goes past, Dan Schneider goes past, Rick Holt goes past, Vincher goes past, and X-Natty is right alongside him, and that's going to be really close. But I think, in the end, X-Natty, I think, is going to come out ahead of him. And now X-Natty, he's on fresh softs here, Joe, and he's really going to be pushing now. Ooh,
again, the two McLarens right on the back of each other. Rick Holt looking down the inside of Dan Schneider. He's going to go for it here, surely. Down the inside. No, he hasn't. He hasn't done the Lewis Hamilton on Albon. he nearly went for it.
So Rick Holt still all over the back. Extani, look how close Extani is to Vincher. Extani all over the back of the Williams here. Now it looks like he's going to get it down into turn 1. We'll have to see. Extani will be behind. He's got ERS and he's got DRS. And he's going to get the pass done very easily.
Rick Holt's all over the back of Dan Schneider. He's going to look round.
I'll back with Brett's coming to the
round
pits.
the outside of turn 1. Oh, brilliant move down the inside for turn 2.
Oh, Rick Holt getting the move done. But remember, I think who's in front in the... Oh, Dan Schneider's going to have DRS. He was behind his teammate into the DRS activation zone, but doesn't get the pass done. Exadi comfortably getting the pass done into turn 1 around Vincher, and he will move his way up into 4th, and now he is going to be attacking on who was actually his rival for most of the season, Dan Schneider, but after a really poor race in Russia, put him out of championship contention. But now Exadi will be trying to gain on Dan Schneider and his teammate Rick Holt, and exciting moment, fresh soft, so you'll be really pushing here as that gap, I can imagine, is going to be coming down. And yeah, thank you to everyone who has joined us throughout this stream, and hope you enjoyed it. Down. Yeah, 1.3 seconds now that he has. All the energy being put into that Mercedes. He was on overtake, and it looks like he's gone down
around the outside of turn 1. Could get a cut back through turn 1. That's a brilliant move. Now he's got a great run on the back straight on his teammate.
He's got a really good exit there in turn 3. Dan Schneider, he's going to have DRS.
All of his ERS, he's gone for it.
He's gone. Rick Holt's gone defensive again, and it's going to allow Dan Schneider round the outside, and he does.
Clean. That was very
nicely
clean.
Well done from Dan Schneider there. Back up into 2nd place. But what this battle is allowing, Joe, is exactly just to gain that gap down even quicker.
The McLarens are very closely matched. Brilliant being watching them. Those two McLarens just constantly battling it out. Dan Schneider's
getting closer.
Ooh, had a little look there.
He did. Rick Holt looking at the back of Dan Schneider, and look who's come into the background, the pink car. It's the Racing Point
bright
of
pink metallic purple helmet.
He stands out like a sore thumb. You could probably see it from the top of those skyscrapers there. Probably see it. You could see it from the top of the skyscrapers on the right hand side. It's
Nick from the Zeppelin and the filming helicopters. I think he's gonna send a copter down.
See it from over here in the UK. We could see it from over here on the track. It's that bright, stands out like a sore thumb.
Oh, because that's a 3-second time penalty. That could
make this interesting. As now Extani, he's got a battle. Extani's not got a battle with one McLaren. He's got 2 McLarens to deal with here.
Look at the ERS difference between the 2 McLarens and X90G as well.
Yeah, Extani conserving that ERS, using it on these straights. I can imagine that's what he will.
He can conserve it. He's on fresh soft. He doesn't need to use the ERS like the McLarens do.
Definitely, and
they're compensating the McLarens at the minute by draining the battery, but Natty doesn't need to.
Looked like Extani looks forward.
Natty could look for a double overtake here.
He could do. This could be a monumental overtake.
Just to end his championship.
Right up behind the back of that McLaren. Oh, he had a little bit of a bad exit though, Exati. Bad exit. He got on the curb and his rear end span out. But now it's going to be...
I don't think I'll get him now.
No, I think he had a bad exit there. And now Rick Holt's going to go down the inside of Dan Schneider. If Exani gets a good exit, here, he could take both of them. He needs a good exit here, and it's okay. He's fallen a little bit back. Exani now, he's going to be looking for something special here. He's going to look for it here, and he doesn't go for it.
Bit of contact there. Oh, he's not the McLaren. Well held.
Schneider.
Oh, he's lost it.
Dan Schneider lost it into the wall. Just a touch of oversteer on the rear.
And too aggressive there from the Racing Point driver, and he's managed to make contact.
It looked like just a touch of oversteer. Wiggled the back end, and he just unbalanced the car. It's actually drifting around the corner, but just unbalanced that McLaren. And that is unfortunate for him, because he was on to have a good race for him. But
I was enjoying that battle.
It was a good battle, but it's still going on between Exnadi and Rick Holt now. Exnadi is going to try and get all over the back of the of the McLaren Renaults, we will call it, but soon it'll be McLaren Mercedes. I can't wait
The
for that to
McLaren
happen.
now doesn't have a train of DRS like he's had for many, many laps. So Natty now has the biggest
look
advantage.
how close Natty is now.
Yeah,
That
he's
gap
going
down.
for it round turn 1, through turn 2.
Yeah, and I
Great
think
run
also
through
Rick
turn
Cole went
3.
really deep into turn 1, and that's allowed Natty to go for it now. Natty. Rick Holt really likes to defend to the inside on this straight. We've seen him do it 3 times now.
He's going to go for the cutback. He's done it. Go on.
Oh,
no, he's missed that. He timed that
Is-
awfully wrong, the cutback Natty there. Good idea, but he didn't execute it as well as he could have.
Oh, Natty.
Well held. He's dying. You can tell he's dying to get past that McLaren.
Yeah, he wants to. He needs. If he wants he needs to get past that McLaren to get to close the gap down to Boy. That gap being 4 seconds.
He could win this race. He needs to get past on the start-finish straight.
Wait, you bear with me quickly. Bear with me. Just tell me if anything. Actually, no, I'll wait until the next straight, because I was going to check on the penalties.
I believe that Boy's got 3 seconds.
Is it just 3 seconds, or has he got more?
Right, Natty needs to go for this here if he wants to win the race.
Natty needs to go for it here. He needs to close that 3-second gap down. Nice switch, a Daniel Avocado style move down. A little switch behind. Oh, is this going to look for it? Does it go for it there?
Rick Holt's done a brilliant job. I don't think it's possible now, and Natty needed to get that move done right there.
He did. He's got DRS here. Ooh, I'm not sure what penalties. Oh, Rick Holt's on a bad exit. That's promoting X90 for it. No, it is. He's pushing for it. Is he going to go round the outside? Will he get the pass done?
He needs. No, I don't think Natty's going to manage to get this.
Just a snag of oversteer on the curb, and it just unbalanced the car again.
But deeply unfortunate for Natty. I could have definitely seen him win this race.
X90's got a 3-second time penalty.
Well. Let's just hope he can try and see his way past that McLaren. But I must say the McLaren's done a fantastic job throughout all of these laps to hold all the drivers back.
Is it Rick Holt or Ace Sabo?
Rick Holt.
No. I'm just having a look to see who's got penalties. Ray Finn. Dan Schneider.
Rick Holt
has a 3-second time penalty as well.
Rick Holt's taken.
Boy's got Boy's got a 3-second time penalty. I think it's just 3 seconds for all of them.
Here we go. It's the final lap of the race, and Natty will be dying for this position.
Xanny needs to get it done. They're both of these guys on 3-second time penalties.
Rick Holt has no battery. He literally has no battery.
Look at the ERS. Look at the ERS that he has though. 43%. He's got behind that car. He's got to push for it now. X90's going to try and go round the outside, squeezed onto the grass.
Rick Holt had sector 2 though to harvest energy due to all of the turns.
Definitely, it's very, very difficult to overtake anywhere here in sector 2, and it's what.
He needs to use his battery. He's got half a battery. He's not using it.
He's got 56%. I can imagine.
Now there we go. He's knocked it into hot lap.
He's knocked it into hot lap now, and I can imagine he's going to be really pushing here on these final few corners down to Glock corner.
Ace turn 13. No, Rick Holt.
Rick Holt's got quite far ahead. Xanny here.
He's diving down.
Xanny, he's got the DRS.
No, it's not going to be enough.
I don't think he's close enough. And Rick Holt will take. Boy wins again. A double win for Boy. Well done to him. He is showing some brilliant pace. This weekend.
He's done a very good job.
Rick Holt will take second. Actually driving for Jetsy. Xnaddy will take third. Vincher will take fourth. Gregster will take fifth. Ray Fizz will take sixth. Albagu Breath will take seventh. Dan Schneider, after he was having a battle with his teammate, lost the car, and he is going to come round and take 8th. Jutsi Kev will come round and take 9th, but let's not forget that we did have a Williams that went upside down as well in this race, so there was a lot of drama in what is the end to the final race here on F1 2019 in Gavra Racing, and well done to everybody, well done to all of the drivers, but what a 2 races we had there, Joe, and in the end, Exadi champion and McLaren Constructors champions. But there was your final grade. Boy winning once again. 2 poles and 2 finishes in first place for Boys. So well done to him. But that there is the end of the final race, a final competitive race we have here in Gavra Racing of the season in the F1 2019 game. Thank you, Joe, for stepping in. You did a brilliant job for your first time.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone in the chat for joining us. Thank you, Black Country. Thank you to everyone in the chat there. And yeah, it's a bit of a sad but happy occasion because it is the final race. But we'll be back next season in September for F1 2020. And we'll be sure to see everyone then. Thank you to the admin team for making this all possible. I know I did this whole speech last week or whatever, but thank you to all the admin team for making everything possible. Thank you to all of the drivers for racing and across all of the leagues, across all project cars, GT Sport, F1. I think we had a bit of dirt rally in there as well. Very professional, but thank you to everyone. Thank you to the main man himself.
You know what? Thank you to everybody.
Yeah, thank you to the main man himself. Everybody in the chat, if you're still here, give Mr. Gavra Novick himself a big round of applause for everything that he has done through this whole entire F1 season. Him and his team have done an amazing job, so round of applause to them. They thoroughly deserve it. And Gavra, after hosting all of the lobbies, all the safety car troubles that he's had, all the lobby glitches, well done to all of them. Gavra, you are the man, and yeah, we enjoy your racing, and yeah, thank you to you and your team for making this all possible. But yeah, we will see everyone in F1 2020. So yeah, see you later, guys, and thank you for watching us.